Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to do a very short set, and we are going to be doing a square shape. So I had already started on applying my nail tips. These nail tips are from Nails Bling. I really like these. They're the extra long coffin tips. They adhere really fast with the glue, and they're not too thick, and also because of that curve and because they are a straight tip and they are a sturdy tip. Most of the time before with other tips, I had problems when I would cut them with the tip clipper, and they would almost break or crack it towards the middle of the tip, and these cut very easily. I did cut my right side of my tips. I cut that only because I was gonna have a hard time applying them onto my left hand. So I did myself a favor and I cut them short so I could start applying them onto my left hand. And so we're just gonna go ahead and apply all of them, and just to make sure that they're all straight as well. Sometimes I do my nails a little crooked, but because they are gonna be short, that's not even going to be a problem. You can easily fix that if you do place the tip crooked. You just kind of, just because it's like opposite how I'm putting my tips, it's not like the usual way how I would put them on a client. My hands facing the opposite way, so I just do my best to put them extra straight, and they normally do come out super straight. So let's go ahead and just add a little bit more glue onto this one so it could stick really good. And then we're going to go in with our tip clipper, and we're going to cut off to the length that I want. I didn't want to go too short this time. I'm planning on doing a fill with this set, so I just wanted to keep a little bit length so that way when I go ahead and file, they're not going too short. Especially because when they're short, I don't go ahead and measure each finger to the other how I normally do, because they are short. So I kind of just eyeball it. If you do want to measure them, that's great. You can do that as well. So now we're gonna go ahead and file our tips now that we clipped them to the length that we wanted. And how I file is I'm going to start off with the left and right side, and then I go to the side view of the nail. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that the tip isn't drooping down. I want to make sure that it's straight and aligned with my finger. And then I'm going to go ahead and file the end, make sure it's super straight, make sure that it's aligned with my finger as well, and I don't get any crookedness. And then I'm going to do that with all 10 fingers. So I'll let you guys watch that. And then we'll get to the fun part with applying our acrylic. All right, you guys, so now that we're all done with prepping our nails, we're gonna just set up for our acrylic application. We're gonna get ourselves some clean monomer and open up our powder. And to avoid any lifting, any water getting into your nail, prep is key. So we're gonna go ahead and dehydrate our nails to make sure we take off any extra oils that may have been left behind. And those oils can come from touching your nail beds. If you ran your fingers through your hair, touched your skin, touched your face. So you definitely want to go ahead with a dehydrator. Right after the dehydrator, you're going to go in with a primer. And I prime twice. It's not a must, but kind of a must. It's a must in my nail application. And so here we are going in with our second application of our primer. And the good thing is between adding the second coats of primers, you do want to let that dry just a bit. And then you're going to go ahead and start with your application. So now we're going in with our acrylic. And I am going to aim for a one bead method. Of course, every time you start with your first, second, even third nail, you kind of have to warm up, and it doesn't always come out the best in the beginning. But like I said, you warm up and it comes to you, right? So here we're going to start off with our thumb, and I do start off with my dominant hand first, just because I feel like it goes by a bit faster. And like I said, once you're warmed up, it's just kind of like a little constant and consistent, like a rhythm that you have, and you finish a bit faster. I used to go in with my non-dominant hand, and I'd be there forever. So I learned that little trick. I mean, maybe it doesn't go faster, but to me, it does make it go faster. So if you're wondering what acrylic this is the Valentino. What did I do? I think it was a classic nude. We went in with the classic nude from Valentino. So this one is my favorite when you go ahead and use French tips. It looks good on all tones of colors of skin. Light, dark skin, it all goes with it. It is a sheer nude, so it does just kind of camouflage with any skin tone, any skin color, any skin shade. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys watch the rest of the application. Towards the second and third finger, that's when you start to see the one bead method, which with a nail this short, you definitely want to keep it to one bead. The small little beads that I do go in with here and there, those are gonna be just to touch up any little corners I may have pulled too much acrylic from, or just didn't drag it enough towards one side. But you definitely want to stay within the one bead, because you don't want to go back into so when you go back into file, if you add too much acrylic, you're going to be there too much, and you're just going to make yourself work harder. So in this instance, in this case, you're going to want to work smarter, not harder. And so you're going to go ahead and just do that. And plus it goes by faster if you just, you grab a good size bead and work with it and just kind of let that move around. You always want to have your finger pointed down when you are going to move the acrylic. You don't want to have it pointed up too much. That's when it starts to get on the side of your fingers, and of course we don't like that, right? So so let's finish this application, and then that way we can go ahead and see how we file after. I do have a few tips to make the filing process easier for you. Okay, such a beautiful and nice application. And if you can tell, it's not too thick. I did give it structure, so that way when I go ahead and file, I'm not filing too much off. So now I started off with the left and right side of the nail, And then I go in on the side just to make sure through the side view, just to make sure there's any, if there's any acrylic that may have dripped down or just kind of went to the side more than I want to. So then I'm just gonna file that. And then what I like to do is I file from the top, just how I am now. That's just gonna help me to get a more flatter surface. With the drill, it's not as big, it's not as straight. I feel like when I hand file most of it, it makes it easier. So when I go in with my e-drill, I can just go ahead and seal the cuticle. And when I say that, I mean get any acrylic that may be too bumpy or lumpy around like the cuticle area, just so I could flatten that out if it needs to be, or to even it out. It makes it way easier where I don't have to really go in with my e-file onto the rest of the nail. I could just focus on the cuticle area. And so after this filing, we're gonna go ahead and start with my drill. But the thing is, I didn't record that part. So unfortunately, you guys can watch my other videos. I do show when I e-file onto there. I was trying to finish my nail set pretty fast. I just was trying to get out the way, so I didn't even record that part. But if you guys ever want a video on how to e-file, let me know, and I'm always okay with that. I know e-filing can be a little hard. There's not really a way to show you. It's more practice, right? So you see how to do it, you know which bits to use, and then you just kind of have to practice either on yourself or on a practice hand. So after I hand filed and then e-filed, I'm gonna go ahead and buff with my little buffer block. I love these little buffer blocks. I got them at Cosmoprof. They come in a set of, let me see, 3, 4, 8, 12, 16, maybe like 24 of them, for like a few bucks. And the cool thing is that you want to use these when you're doing a short set like this. I have the medium sized ones, which are good for long and extra long nails. And but the thing is, I feel like it's a waste of a buffer block when I use that size on a set like this, because it's very small. And like the medium buffer block, it's just too big for a set like this, and to have to just throw it away, I don't think that's fair. So go ahead and get yourself some from Cosmoprof or anywhere else, like a nail supply store or anything like that. But this size, when you're doing your short sets or your personal as well, you could have this one as a personal buffer block. And that way you're just not wasting product or money. So after you buff, you're going to go ahead and wipe off all the dust, wash it all off. And then you're going to go ahead and go in with your gel. I'm going in with my Kier Sky Lavender color. And we're just going to go ahead and apply the first coat. And I know I came off the screen just a bit here. Sorry about that. So I just clipped it and I started to where I started to add the second coat. And so then I'm kind of going back and forth because I had too much polish on the brush, and I honestly was rushing, so I wasn't even trying to go back into the polish bottle. I just was trying to, like, I guess, like, ration it between all fingers. And so now that they're all polished, well, I still need my thumb, so we're going to polish my thumb. That is the second coat, and then we're going to cure for 60 seconds each coat, okay? So basically twice. If you want to do 2 times, that's even better. And then, so now that I'm done with my right hand, I'm going to go on to my left hand, and we're going to go ahead and add 2 coats as well. You don't want to make the first coat or the second coat thick. I know sometimes with sheer colors like this, it can be, it looks like, oh my gosh, it's not going to cover. But once you hit it with that second coat, the color looks like a nice solid color. And then you notice that you don't have to make it as thick as you would think. So now we're going to go ahead and do our second coat and then cure that also for 60 seconds. So I started applying my top coat. This top coat is a wipe top coat, which I don't really like. It is a nice one. It leaves it shiny and lasts a very long time, but the fact that I need a wipe, I don't like it. I did already receive my new top coats from Hot Tips. I haven't had those in a while because they were out for a little bit. So now that I ordered them, super happy. But that one is the Orly top coat. And then we go in with our cuticle oil. You could use any oil, any lotion, any cream. But you do always want to go ahead and gloss your skin up after a set to make it look very beautiful. And so now we're at the end, and I'm so happy you guys stuck around to watch the entire video. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys like the video and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.